Okay, so today we are doing attributes in the calculator. The first thing, to clear your calculator out, you're going to want to do doc B, and that will be to clear it. So I have stuff in my calculator right here, so doc B will clear the calculator out. All right. In the calculator, when we're looking at the graph, f of x and y are the same thing. So you do not need to add in a y equals when you're graphing. So this f of x here is the same thing as y. X-intercepts can be called a couple different things. You also hear them as zeros, solutions, or roots. So first I'm going to type in my graph in the calculator, 2 parentheses x minus 2 squared, and then minus 5. Make sure it looks exactly the same on the calculator and on your paper. Press enter, and I have 2 x-intercepts. So I go to menu, write the steps down, menu button, which is right here. So menu, analyze, go down to analyze the graph. And I'm going to click 0, because remember 0 and x-intercepts are the same thing. So 0. And then I get this dotted line. You are going to actually press down on the middle here. Press down. Ooh, it didn't work. Analyze 0. Press down on the middle and highlight your x-intercept. Make sure the little black point that pops up is on the x-intercept, and that is one of your answers, 0.419, comma 0. And you can repeat those steps, or you can keep highlighting your graph, watch your point, until it jumps over to the next intercept, and it will give you your next intercept point, 3.58, comma 0. So I'll do that one more time so you can see the point jump. Oh man. Alright, so it starts here, and then if you keep scrolling, it'll jump over there to the next one. Alright, clear my graph out. Get rid of that glare there. Okay, the next graph, very important. This 3 is not an exponent. If it was an exponent, it would be there would be a space in between the 2 exponent 3 and the root, but there is not a space. So what that is a cube root. It is one of your odd radical functions. The symbol in the calculator that you need to get looks like this. All right, you can find all of your symbols in this black button next to the 9. You also have shortcuts to your symbols in yellow if you like to see them that way. But this black button next to the 9 has all of your symbols. And you see this one highlighted right here will give you the cube root. So first there's a 2, and then cube root x plus 5 minus 3. All right, and that's my x-intercept. So menu, analyze 0. And then highlight your x-intercept until your point pops up, negative 1.63, comma 0. All right, next are the y-intercepts. Y-intercepts, you are going to control T. Control T will bring up the table. So Control T will bring up my table, and I want to know the point when x is 0. Because remember, when x is 0, That's your y-intercept. Oops, sorry, there's a big old glare. So you're going to scroll up to when the x is 0. X is this little column right here. So you're going to scroll up to when x is 0. This point right here is your x-intercept. So 0 and then 0.41. Control T will also get rid of your table. So if I want to come do this other example, tab, go up, let's edit this. 2x minus 2 squared minus 5. And then Control T, go up to when x is 0. 0, 3 is this x-intercept. And then Control T will get rid of your table. All right, let's go down to vertex. All right, when you menu analyze your graph, there is no button for vertex. The reason why is because your vertex is the max or the min. It will not be both, it'll be one or the other. So you have to look at your graph and decide whether your vertex is a maximum or a minimum. In my example, it is a minimum. So I'm going to menu, analyze the graph, click minimum, and highlight my function. Once again, make sure your black point pops up at the bottom where your vertex is at. So 2, -5 is your vertex. All right, on the original copy, that was a bad example, so I rewrote it. This is a negative sign. This is a subtraction sign. There is a difference when you put them in the calculator. So negative x squared minus 3. Hit enter. So my vertex is right here. That is a maximum. So I'm going to hit maximum, highlight my graph, and it pops up right there at 0, -3. Okay. On the back, we have the asymptotes. All right, for the asymptotes, there's not a button that will give you the asymptotes, so we are just going to look at the graph to determine where they are. So I'm going to clear it out. 2 on top, x plus 2 minus 1. 2 banana shapes means 2 asymptotes. So I know I'm going to have 2 asymptotes. And it looks like one of my asymptotes is right here at -2. And it's going through the x-axis. So x equals -2 is one of them. The other asymptote looks like it's right here going through -1 on the y. So -1. A good way to check are these numbers should pop up in your function. Okay? And we'll talk more about why that is later when we do rationals and exponentials and logs. All right, so let's graph this other one. 3 to the x minus 5. All right, so this has 1 banana, so it has 1 asymptote. And a lot of times with exponentials and logs, it's difficult to tell where the asymptote is. Look to where your graph straightens out more. Which would be more correct? It straightens more out horizontally than it does up here. So I know my asymptote is going to be right here, and it's dropping down to -5 through the y, which is its y. And that makes sense because -5 is in my function. All right. Max and min over an interval. I also forgot to put the intervals on your notes, so I added those in. The steps for max and min over an interval. Menu. Analyze. In this case, we're doing maximum. And you are going to literally type in your first number. Enter. Type in second number. Enter. And then your answer will pop up. All right, so Put my function in. 2 parentheses x minus 2 squared minus 5. So, menu, analyze your graph. I'm going to do maximum because this is asking for maximum. And I don't want to use the dotted line. My interval is -2, 4. So I'm literally going to type -2 and hit enter. And then literally type 4, hit enter. And then your point will pop up. The y value is the answer. Alright, so let's do it again for this different function. I'm going to clear it out. 2. This is a square root. You see there's no little cube there, so I can just do the square root x plus 5. Make sure you arrow to the outside and put your -3 there. Menu, analyze. We're still doing max. -3, enter. 3, enter. And 2.66 is my answer for the max. It is the same thing for minimum, except instead of hitting max, you're going to hit min. So let's practice some problems. 2 over x plus 2, and then -1 on the outside. Menu, analyze. We're doing the min now. -3, enter. -2.5, enter. And -5 is the min. Alright, let's get the other graph here. 3 to the x, arrow off to the side, -5. And menu, analyze, minimum, 0, enter, 3, enter. And then 0, -4 pops up for the min.